The landmass the size of something like Ohio or Indiana, less than 40,000 square miles. And so it's a pretty dense place. In fact, 83% of the people live in an urban setting. And our city, which was one of the smaller ones, still had 1.5 million people. So it's pretty dense stuff. A little bit of the history of Korea. I don't know if you know, obviously we hear a lot now about North Korea and all of the difficulties that they present to the international community and to their own people. But Korea was a unified kingdom until it was split into two in 1945. And the northern half was supposed to be watched over by the Soviet Union, and the southern half was supposed to be watched over by the United States. And of course there was disagreement as to how those two countries should look. And so each set up, the government that they thought would be best. And so, the goal was that they were supposed to come together as two different governments and mesh, but obviously that didn't happen. So eventually the communist regime was set up in North Korea by the Soviets, and they invaded the South, which sparked the Korean War, which was a very, very unfortunate war that lasted from 1950 to 1953. And Korea was pretty well decimated. If you see, there's a war museum in Seoul that we've been to. The country was just obliterated. There was really not much left at all in Korea. And so that was a very, very sad time. But as I'll get to, the neat thing was that the Lord really worked through that. Actually, the first missionaries to Korea were Catholic missionaries, and they came in the early 1600s. So the Catholic presence has been there for over 400 years, but there's been several periods where the Korean ethnic group would kick the Catholics out, or there was even a period in the 1800s where they were persecuted so badly that 6,000 Catholic priests were killed. And so there's been some really interesting stuff there. But the first Protestant missionaries came to Korea, or went to Korea in the 1800s.